Hey everybody, this is Skeet.
Smosh and Mikey over here.
Rock and Roll Roundtable.
Yeah, our good friends at Moshman Media presenting another episode for you today.
This week, end of
Hmm.
summer concert review.
Yeah. End of summer. Basically, we know this is going to be a long gone conclusion by the time it's actually on. But we always like to hit on the summer, and we've talked about a few that we've went to here and there, but. Uh, in the fall, really, it's the beginning of fall is when I go to Kentucky every year. So it's kind of like the end of summer, beginning of fall. And when I was in Kentucky, Skeet actually had a concert more local here to us. So we thought we'd talk about those today. Just some bands maybe we've seen before, some we haven't, different things going on. So, however you want to start her out, if you want to start her out, uh, you, or if you want me to start, whatever you want.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this one because it should be relatively short. Uh
Okay.
I got to see Firehouse, Lita Ford, and Warrant. So it was very local for us. I went
Right.
with a couple buddies. Uh Went out to grab a bite to eat before, so we were all fired up to go. Swung on into the event. It was a smaller venue, but not exactly a small club. So it was an arena, smaller arena. Uh and pretty much I'm gonna say the show was good. I mean, Firehouse came out, and of course they've got their new singer because their lead singer passed away recently. And this guy, I guess they found him on American Idol, and
Yeah, American Idol or The Voice. Yeah,
they
one of those
helped
two.
integrate him into the band before their lead singer passed away. So that was he come out, younger guy, all full of energy, good range, was hitting a lot of the same stuff that uh, CJ Stone, is that his name from
Snare,
Warren?
CJ Snare.
Okay, stare. So you know he did a real good job. So that was cool that they were able to come out and knock out some hits, and he did a great job. They really come out with some energy, and that's how the show started. Then of course we get to Lita. Lita put on a solid show. She pretty much kind of the same set she did when I saw her before, and
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe changed them up a little bit because she was opening up for Warrant, so it was a little bit shorter set. She did the little tribute to Ozzy with "Close My Eyes Forever," so that was real good. Everybody was into that. And then we get on to Warrant, and Warrant put on a good show, but their fucking sound guy decided he was going to crank everything up,
Yeah.
which was cool because the guitar players were I think the guys that were originally in the band when Jani Lane was still in the band.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's all still
Yes.
relative from the Janie Lane
So
days.
the two guitar players were original, and I think their drummer had been with them for quite a while.
Probably, yeah.
So it wasn't the I say original. It was the classic lineup because I think Warrant when they started out had a whole completely different fucking lineup, anyways.
It
With the
could have.
band, yeah,
Yeah,
I did
I
a
was.
little research, and it was like, okay, well, this is basically the classic lineup from the late '80s, the Cherry
Yeah.
Pie lineup, and shit like that. So, And except for it, actually, I'm going to sound like a puss. It it really was too fucking loud for that venue. It was just
Yeah.
so overbearing. It sounded good. Everybody fucking knocked it out of the park, man. But it was
Uh,
just, yeah, it was just overbearing. I didn't even, I raw dogged it, no earplugs, and my
yeah.
ears rang for 2 days. For fucking real. 2 days.
Yeah. See
So
now, the biggest problem I would have with with something like that would be that the other two bands weren't overbearing. You
yes,
know, it's
yeah.
like, why do you have to crank it up for your last band? It's like you're no more. I mean, it's almost like we got to be louder to be big and bad or what. It's like I just hate that kind of. That would put
I,
me in a salty mood.
yeah. So I mean I enjoyed it and I dealt with it like a true rock and roller would, but it just really for that venue, they just it was a little too much. So
Yeah.
again, great show. I got a couple T-shirts, so I was pretty happy. They played some good stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, at least they played the hits, and
Yes.
other than being loud, it's like that's still good. So that's cool. Very cool.
So that wraps up
Uh,
my end of summer. So I'm gonna put it over to you because
okay.
you got a whole bunch of stuff to go over.
Yeah, I actually went to Louder Than Life in Kentucky. Beautiful weather. Really pretty warm. I mean, it was extra hot, but better than hurricane. Made it all 4 days. It was like 174 bands actually participated.
Wow.
I think I saw 50. I think because 50 some full sets and some partials here and there, but a lot of bands I'd never seen. A lot of bands that I really was looking forward to seeing, and only a few that I just get disappointed in. Hey, it was a pretty good weekend, 4 days. So I walk in day one, and it's we get there early because not enough space is planned, and I've talked about them on the show a bunch, and I really have always wanted to see them. I On the way there, we saw a band called Fulci, and I'm like, I thought it was planes gonna crash because these guys, a wall of sound coming from the main stage. We're walking into the venue. It's outdoor. It's a big convention center, fairground, whatever. And I thought there was planes because I've seen all these airplanes. We're right by the airport in Louisville, Kentucky. I didn't notice them last year because the hurricane had grounded traffic. So I hadn't, it was oblivious to the fact how close we were to the airport. I thought these planes were that low. No, this was this dude's growling and the
Wow.
wall of sound behind him. And I'm like, who is that? And I had to look them up on my phone app. But I stopped and listened to them for a minute on the way to go to see Not Enough Space. I thought, man, that's heavy shit. Right before the band, right before Not Enough Space, the one that kicked off that stage was a band called Guilt Trip. Never heard of. Very good. But I only heard a couple songs, a couple songs. So Not Enough Space is the first one I saw full set. They were good, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like what you said. The sound wasn't the greatest. Of course, you're outside.
Yeah.
No, I was like in the pit, like I don't know, 5, 10 rows back. I mean, not like real close, but so it was interesting to see the girls that close to see how they acted, on stage. Very good set, though. I mean, it wasn't. They didn't play my favorite song, so I was a little miffed. But you're in a 25-minute, 30-minute sets.
Yeah.
It's hard to play everything. So the next one we saw was Exodus. We went back
Nice.
to the main stage. So good. The good, the old singer's back. Not the original, but I think his name is Rob Dukes. I think it's either Rob Dukes. Yeah, I think that's who's back now. But they played the classics, bonded by blood, and toxic waltz, all that good stuff. So that was fun. The next band that come up was a surprise. I didn't even realize they were there. It was Cavalera,
Oh,
and
nice.
they did the entire Chaos AD album, which was killing, man. Territory at the end, fuck, it was crazy good. So I was like, well, this is pleasant surprise. And I didn't go off and venture off to the off stages because Cannibal Corpse was playing next. And it's like I've seen them, but I'd kind of like to see them again. It was honestly though, dude, kind of disappointing. The same exact rhetoric, stage speak that I saw them last year. It's like, come on, I mean, mix it up. But the music was still good. But then after them was my all-time high for the day was to see Down for the
Oh,
first time.
okay.
And I expected Phil Anselmo to come out with this mega attitude because I'm Pantera. I'm the I've just always thought that maybe Phil would be that way. Exact opposite. This dude so humbled to be there. It was
Wow.
crazy. And they played. I don't think they made it through the entire Nola album, but damn close. They played uh, Temptations Wings, Lifer. I mean, Ghost of the Mississippi, Hail the Leaf, and they ended with Bury Me in Smoke. Stone to Crow, of course, they play. I mean, they are just ripping through it. And it was cool to see them. I was definitely asshole deep in the pit for that. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was third row, the whole set. Very good. That was a highlight of day one, just because I had never seen him. It's been so long. Marilyn Manson was after this,
Okay.
shockingly good. I was
Really?
surprised. I didn't. I've seen Marilyn years ago, but he's clean and sober now.
Yeah.
But his attitude's gone a little bit. He was one of those. I told my wife it was one of those annoying in between song guys. Every song, in between song, every song, louder than life. He had to say it every time, like trying to get your attention. But don't do it every song. Anyway, the music was pretty tight. Then we went off side of the stage, which disappoints me now. We went off to the side to get out of the sun and to get a drink or whatever for Lamb of God when Lamb of God was playing. But I could still hear him, but the sound didn't carry like I had hoped.
Yeah.
So I was getting frustrated because I said they sound like shit, and I was mad. But then as I walked back up front, it's like that made the world of difference. They
Okay.
really sounded good out front. So, Children of the Grave again, they did that cover, Black Sabbath. Fantastic. Redneck, all that great music. A band I'd never heard of called The Story So Far, like an emo band. Surprisingly good. I actually come home and looked them up. They got a lot of good stuff. And the ending for the night one was for us was Lorna Shore. Didn't stay long. I mean, Lorna Shore is a beast. They're very hard, heavy, in your face. My wife's not a big Lorna Shore fan, and I just wanted to see them
Yeah.
for the. I saw 3, 4 songs, and I was like, I'm gonna miss a lot of the other ones, but I'm okay. I got to see the stage set, heard the growls in person, all that. We skipped out on Slayer because I had seen Slayer 5 times.
Yeah.
And she, whatever. So that was day one for that. We went to day two. I'll just go over the big surprises. A band called Glory Hammer. Oh my God. Power metal, fun as shit. They're like
Nice.
their songs are like about unicorns and Dungeons and Dragons, and you know, just like they're like goofy, but their music was killer. And this was more of a, a realization day for me because I had never seen like Non-Point. They were good. I had never seen Dope live. They were really good. I had never seen Demon Hunter live. They were excellent. Some newbies I found, a band called Aurora Wave. They play reggae, but they add metalcore breakdowns. It's fantastic, dude.
Wow.
I saw them. I saw Aurora Wave in this place called the Big Bourbon Bar, which was like just a sports bar they had on campus there, and there was only maybe a couple hundred people. They rocked that out, man. They rocked the shit out of
Wow.
that place. They were fun. I did not like Static X. I thought they were tired, old. Dragon Force, excellent. It's just fun, you know. A band called Dayseeker, I'd never heard. Very good. They're newer. Uh, Insane Clown Posse, believe it or not,
Oh, you caught
put
some
on a great.
ICP, huh?
They put on a great show. I did not want to go see them, and my wife said, "I want to see what they're about." And I'm like, "All right, here we go." And maybe you know about more of ICP than I do, but I had no idea about the Fago and all that shit.
Oh,
They came out spraying with Fago. I had no idea what was going on,
yeah.
but it was fun. It was a good time. So it was like, okay, we're doing good. Then Mudvayne's coming out. Mudvayne is going to do their first album in its entire. I'm like, okay, here we go. Fucking horrible, dude. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Really?
Over dramatic, just ridiculousness up there. I was disappointed. The music might not have been as bad, maybe, but it was just like over dramatic, theatrical, rolling on the ground, oh, singing this like it's just stupid. Maybe I missed it when they did it back then, but I did not like that. That kind of broke my heart a little bit. Spirit Box was next. You know, I'm a Spirit Box guy. Courtney LaPlante disappointed me a little bit when she come out. It was like 90 some degrees. She comes out in like clothes. I'm like, man, I was hoping for like, I know it's me, like a skirt or something, just to, you know. But anyway, she was on point, but the band was like vanilla. The whole crowd was just like not into it. I'm like, what's going on? You know, weird. But she was excellent. The band was, I guess, I mean, they were on point, but it was like no crowd hype at all.
Okay.
So then we go on to Breaking Benjamin. Man, I slept on them guys. They hit after hit after hit after hit for an hour and 10 minutes, just every hit. It was like great. And the last one of day two that we watched, we did not stick around for Avenged Sevenfold because it was getting a little rowdy in there. We watched Sleep Token, who everybody's talking about.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, they were really good musically, but it was like they never stopped to talk to the audience, not once, not even at the end. They never murmured a word other than the singer. And it was like, just not a there, you know, it's not a rock show. It's more like watching paint dry with a good soundtrack to it. I mean, it's just the drummer is fantastic, the singer's fantastic, but interact a little bit. I mean, the shtick should go so far.
Well, in their defense, they're how long have they been around? A couple years now?
About 4 years, yeah.
About 4 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe they're just not used to doing the big shows like that, the big events.
I don't know, man. Their North American tours sold out. I mean, the whole tour. So it's like they have to have had some previous big shows. I mean, this was the biggest show of all time in the United States. They
Okay.
said it was the biggest one show in the United States was 89,000, I think, was where we're at.
Yeah.
So it was huge. But it was such a disaster. The drunkenness and disaster of that place at night. That's why, I'm glad the headliners weren't like on my list of people to see. Like Event Sevenfold, been there, done that. I'm like, we can bowl. So we go the third day. It's a more of a subdued day. I was like, I'm gonna watch some people. I walked in and watched a band I'd never heard of, from first to last, like a hardcore band. They were really, really good, but I didn't know any of their music, so it was hard to, really get into it. But Black Veil Brides was on the main stage when we walked in, so they're from close to here. They're from Cincinnati originally,
Oh wow.
and they were big emo, and they had quite the following there for them, and they were good. I watched most of their set. I had to get out in time to go watch Acid Bath, who was next.
Okay.
I've been waiting to see Acid Bath for about 30 years too, because they were in the down era
Okay.
and all that. They weren't as good as Down by any means, but they were respectable for being
Okay.
off the stage for 20 some years. But they were nervous. You could tell almost that they were nervous, but they still killed it. Now
Nice.
here's one that I had to make a quick run from. I had to like skip the last Acid Bath song. Left the wife and kids behind.
Okay.
I'm boogieing all the way across this thing. I'm walking in a pretty specific space and got there just in time to see Kitty the whole way
Oh, how was that?
through. Woo, boy, Morgan Lander. If I was a single man, I would beg her just because her attitude. She come out in this slit up black dress. The girls are all, Mercedes back there on the drums. It's got all, you can see it on the screen as I'm like 10 feet away from Morgan anyway.
Yeah.
But Mercedes back there, the drums kind of tilted so you could see her really well. But the ladies are beautiful. But man, they just ripped that out of the gate, dude. They ripped it out of the gate. It was a half hour of whooping your ass. Yeah, it was exactly what I had hoped it was going to be.
Nice.
Seeing them.
Yes.
So they were up there for the day. They might have took the day. I think they actually did.
Wow. Wow.
But there was some great bands after them. Small Town Titans. I'd seen them before and didn't think much of them. They did better this time.
Okay.
They did a couple covers, the oddball covers they do. Um, Went back to the main stage, and it was Stone Temple Pilots. Worried about this one because
Yeah.
anybody you're replacing a legend. I had never heard this guy sing,
Yeah.
the new voice of Stone Temple Pilots. He wasn't bad. I mean, he was like very respectable. I thought their song selection kind of stunk in spots. I did not like. I really didn't think a festival like that would be the place to play like Big Empty. I thought you'd want to keep it more upbeat. But they played Interstate Love Song, Sex Type Thing, Plush, Tripping on a Hole,
Yeah.
Paper Heart. They played, exceptional, but just Big Empty and Creep kind of threw me out. Just like it kind of brought the ball, the intensity down a little bit. Then a band from Detroit came on, I Prevail. They are very high up the ranks now. I'd never really listened to them, but
Okay.
man, they got some stuff. They have some nice music, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna dig into them a little more. Here's a confusing one for me. It was A Perfect Circle. It's like, okay, it's Maynard.
Yeah.
It's Josh Freeze back there playing drums. It's a great line, a band. They're technically, man, they were on it. Crystal clear, crisp. The sound was beautiful. But dude, I could have took a full blown nap. I just could have. it was like I knew a few of the songs, Three Libras and this and that, and maybe it was just calming, and I took it and mistook it as being boring, but it's like it was just so mellow, and I'm like, okay. They did kill it out with Judith at the end, though, so I was like, okay, made
How'd
up
that
for it a
sound?
little bit,
How'd
but
that sound?
nobody liked them but me at all. That was in my group. They were like, oh my god,
Wow.
that's terrible. And I'm like, but they couldn't believe it was Maynard. They said, that's not the guy from Tool. I said, yes, it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then Bad Omens comes on. I don't know much about them. I thought they were shit. I just thought they were shit. The guy was always constantly doing the falsetto singing at the end. It was like back and forth, metal to falsetto. And it's like, no, it's just not my thing. Unfortunately, we then made the decision to skip the headliner because it was just so fucking hot, to be honest. It was so hot. And I wasn't, I'm kicking myself now because the Deftones were probably really good. And we heard them on the way out, a couple songs. It's like, God dang it.
We should stay.
Probably should have sucked it up, but we didn't. So we come back the fourth day. Thank God it rained a little bit. It really was a blessing. But with that, they delayed everything by a couple hours. So they had to cut some bands at the beginning. So the first band we saw then was Accept. We go down into the all stages. Accept killed it, dude. I was like, I wasn't expecting a lot from Accept. I was like, because today, the fourth day, was 80s bands.
Oh shit.
We're very relevant here. So Accept plays. The stage next to him is 10 years. So I remember 10 years. Our buddy Gary, his band opened for 10 years, I remember a year ago. My wife really likes 10 years. So we like, okay, they're surprisingly good. I'm like,
Okay.
that's cool. We don't even have to go to the main stage. So we go back to the next stage is Sebastian Bach.
Give
Man,
it to give it to
energy
me.
wise, energy wise, Sebastian was on it. I mean, he was all over the place. He did songs like Big Guns,
Yeah.
You've Gone Wild, I Remember You, uh, what was the other big one that surprised me?
Slave to the
There was one.
grind.
He did Slave to the Grind. He did Monkey Business. He did all the big hits, and he opened the show with his song, his
Okay.
new song, I think. The only disappointing thing about Sebastian, and the only thing, was that like on I remember, like on I Remember You, he would say, "Remember yesterday." The other guy, the guitar player, would have to sing the other half, so he could not sing it like he used to.
Well,
So he shared vocals, kind of like Doc and does, and it's understandable though.
yeah.
But it's kind of depressing to see it when you first see it. But
Yeah.
it's like, dude, he still hit the high notes. He was still hitting the high notes when he hit to them. Very energetic, very old Skid Row song. Piece of Me he played. That was the one that surprised. Piece of Me. Because
Oh,
I hadn't heard that song in a long time.
yeah.
But very fun set. Then we go back to the other stage, which is nice that these are all bang, bang, bang. Crossfade, who'd been out for 20 years. That dude, the guy's voice is gone. I just hate to admit it. They were trying their best, and he did kill the last song, which "Cold," which is their big hit. He
Okay.
did get that one good, but the rest he was struggling. Maybe because they're took all that time off and come back and are on tour. Maybe it's just wearing him out. It was just a little depressing that
Okay.
they didn't hit it as good as I thought, but it was still fun. Then we go back to the other stage for Queensryche comes out.
Okay.
Man, Todd Latour is a beast. He's a 9.8 if Tate's a 9.9. I mean, that's how close these guys are.
Wow.
But they didn't fuck around with anything to do with newer Queensryche. Not a fucking second. They opened the show with Queen of the Reich.
Wow.
And then, yeah, went into Mind Crime, did Take Hold of the Flame, did, what was the, Empire, and ended with Eyes of a Stranger. Just
Wow.
ripped them straight out. 5, 6 songs because they were short sets.
Yeah.
Dude rips it. They ripped it, man. They were killing it. So I was extremely happy
Yeah, I
with
bet.
all those 80s bands kind of showing out. So we go back to the main stage and we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna watch Wage War. It's a me and my daughter's kind of things. I just they didn't play enough of their old stuff for me. They played a lot of the new stuff, which is more technical, backing tracks, all that shit. You know how I am. I want the
Yeah.
raw stuff. They didn't play the river. They didn't play, which made me mad because that was my song. They didn't. They weren't terrible. And then Knocked Loose comes up. People love Knocked Loose or they hate him. The guy's got a 12-year-old sounding voice, but they're from Louisville, so the crowd was
Yeah, I bet.
insane.
Yeah.
They did a great. It was a good set. Don't get me wrong. It's just I had seen them before. I can't get past the singer. He just grates on me a little bit. The music, the breakdowns. Oh man. Oh yeah. They were excellent. Daughter and her boyfriend. They went out into the pit for that one, and it was like crazy. Uh, then it goes from one directive like that all the way back to 3 Days Grace. So it's like, okay, that's quite a switch.
Yeah.
Knocked Loose, 3 Days Grace. First time I'd ever seen them with both the lead singers back together.
Okay.
They got the old guy back and the new guy. They did not play Pain. I don't know what's up with these guys skipping their best songs. It's like Pain was the first song I ever heard from 3D. They played every other song you could imagine. Start a
Yeah.
Riot, Hate Everything About You, which was killer. But yeah, they were solid. Uh, then we get to Evanescence. Oh my God. I fucking slept on Evanescence, man. That was it was almost life changing. How clean she was, dude. This girl missed no notes, not a fucking one, all
Wow.
night. And it was like songs I had forgotten they did. She was, she did My Immortal. You only call me when you're sober. Blah blah blah. Uh, Going Under, I forgot about. They get to, of course, you're going to play the end, Bring Me to Life. So you're going to bring it. It was kind of depressing because the band that the singer from 12 Stones is the guy that sang that originally
Okay.
with her. They were at the concert that day. Their set got canceled because of the rain.
Yeah.
So I was like, that would have been cool to see. Fucking dude stuck around. He come out and did that.
Nice.
So you got to see the original two end
Yeah.
the show. That it was pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
But Evanescence overall was like insane, dude. Insanely good. The music was clean, crisp, clear. She was phenomenal. So it's like, man, that was killing it. So there was two bands left after these guys. One was a band called Suicide Boys, a rap group. No, I stayed for like 2 songs. We were gonna hold out and watch Bring Me the Horizon because we knew that was one of the kids' favorites. I couldn't. I just said, man, it's 4 days. I don't know. I don't really care about Suicide Boys. I don't really want to hear Bring Me the Horizon. If we don't have to, I'll stay if
Yeah.
you want to. And she's like, nope, we're out of here. So that was it. Yeah, but it was, and I saw a ton of other bands just in line for shit, because TVs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Carcass, I had to watch them from the merch tent because it was a 3 hour wait for merch in the merch tent. I saw Dream Theater on the screen waiting for Sleep Token to start. I said, bands like that. So I seen a lot more, but physically, that's what I got to see. I seen maybe 8, 10 more on screens walking through the festivities, and it was fun, man. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. A lot of bands that I'm overwhelmed with that I didn't know about. And it's like Glory Hammer, man, Glory Hammer, Ailstorm, all those symphonic power metal bands, Powerwolf. I got to see them on the screen. Those guys are all fantastic, dude. Dragon
Yeah.
Force. Well, you've seen Dragon
Yeah.
Force.
Yep.
Just a lot of fun. And musically, not my style all the time, but man, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole weekend was worth it. No hurricane, no food poisoning. Like I said, maybe 65 bands with between watching and seeing on screen. Well worth the money, well worth the time.
Yeah.
Will I do it again next year? Hell, I don't I don't know. It's a lot. Takes a lot
Yeah.
out of you, but it is a good time. So yeah, that was my summer experience.
Oh, hell yeah.
End of summer, I should say. I only got one more show scheduled this year.
Okay.
Might be it, for this year. Go see Trivium and Ginger and call it a year. I
All
don't
the
know.
year.
Yeah,
All
we'll see.
right. So Louder Than Life was what would you give it out of 10?
It's a 9. It's
Oh,
a
nice.
9. I mean, I think they could cut about half the bands and maybe shorten the VIP list a little bit to give you more of a better
Experience.
experience. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, 100 bands would be about right. So I mean, I know they're not going to do that. Next year's headliner's already been announced for one day is My Chemical Romance, the big emo band. So
Yeah.
I think Megadeth is going to be on there. I really do, being in their last tour. They played
Ooh.
a lot of Megadeth promos and a lot of Iron Maiden promos. So it could be an interesting announcement for
Ooh.
next year.
Ooh.
Could be. Nine Inch
Ooh.
Nails is coming back out. So you never know, dude.
That that
Could be a
Megadeth,
show you can't miss.
that fucking
Yeah.
Megadeth has got me going. Maybe if they don't
I'd
come
go.
through, I'd
We've
like
already
I'd like
talked
to see.
about that. Me and my daughter talked about that already. We said, if it's Megadeth, we're going. If Megadeth, but we've seen them a bunch, but it's like
Yeah,
the last
the
tour,
last
the
yeah
last
the
time,
last one. So
80,000 people. Yeah,
yeah.
it'd be cool.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give the Warrant show with all those bands. I'm gonna give them an 8. I think it was pretty good. So that's
Cool.
my
Yeah, I mean,
8 out of 10 for the Firehouse, Lita Ford, and Warren show. So
right. Yeah.
that
About
ought to
8.5. Yeah.
wrap up the end of summer concert review. So
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it was a good summer. Got to see a lot of good shows. It's always good to see live music. Go see it when you can, man. Nobody lives forever.
exactly. All right, this is Skeet.
Smashing Mikey.
See ya.
Peace out, my friends.